I can't believe this story has gotten this far, but we're just gonna dive headfirst into it. And the woman that we're talking about today is a TikTok user by the name of Ashley. Ashley has spent the last couple of months trying to ruin the life of a professor in Idaho by the name of Rebecca Schofield. And by doing so, she's essentially trying to speed run ruining her own life because she's being sued for $75,000 and she just keeps doubling down. TikTok is honestly just a cesspool when it comes to stupid behavior, and this Ashley woman is really the pinnacle of it. Like, if being a moron on TikTok was a competition, Ashley would have a whole bunch of gold medals. But to catch you guys up to speed, there was a tragic stabbing of multiple students in Idaho that made national news. And this became an opportunity for Ashley to get some attention on TikTok, which she did. She gained over 100,000 followers on TikTok and gained millions of views by basically making up lies about people who were victims in this whole case. And it seems like this is all just an elaborate plot to promote her psychic abilities or some manic episode. So she went onto the school website of the victims and started doing tarot card readings of the professors at that school. And for some reason, she became obsessed with a professor by the name of Rebecca Schofield and went ahead and made a creepy TikTok fanfic that had 25 parts of what she claims happened, when in reality, it's wild and baseless accusations against this poor professor. But the TLDR of Ashley's insane made-up story is that this professor by the name of Rebecca Schofield allegedly had a relationship with one of the victims by the name of Kaylee. And when this didn't work out, apparently this professor hired one of the victim's classmates by the name of Jack to commit this crime. Here's a clip of what she said in my last video on this.
He feels like he can do anything now. He feels like he has a power, a strength, a determination and will that he can...
What? What? You said what now? What? What? What the I watch a lot of insanity for a living, and this is way over the top for me. And again, this is based on no facts, just visions. So definitely a disgusting way for attention that really affects the victims of all this. Naturally, she got sued for defamation, and normally defamation cases are very hard to win, but I think they actually have a very good case here because Ashley is literally accusing this professor of committing this horrible crime with no proof whatsoever. So she got sued for $75,000, and to be fair, she really should have seen that coming as a psychic. But what did Ashley do when she started getting letters from Rebecca Schofield's lawyers?
Because it's the demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my with it.
You know, that's average chess grandmaster behavior. She's like everything annoying with a TikToker with maybe a dash of smoking rock. And what's wild is some of these TikToks slandering this professor has millions of views. This TikTok psychic has over 100,000 followers, and this was the last video that she posted on her main account.
Like, I have physical evidence against Rebecca Schofield that validates everything that I've said about her, but I can't speak on it now because it has to wait for court. So hopefully court doesn't take too long.
Sure you do. Yeah, this is a terrible video no matter how you look at it, because there's no reason to wait for court for anything because it's all going to be brought up in court anyway. And if we're all insane and she's for some reason the sane one, withholding evidence isn't good either. But either way, I hope they film this court because this is going to be an absolute show and I want to see it. Or well, honestly, if this video gets 50,000 likes, I will try my best to fly out and document this live for you guys. But that was the last video she posted, we thought. And that was until Critical reacted to my video on stream and one of his fans actually notified him saying that she has actually made a new account. So thank you to him and whoever notified him about this, because she has a whole new account and the rabbit hole just goes further. And she's dug herself way down deep into this hole. Like, she's about to find lava if she keeps digging. But by the time we're finished with this video, she's gonna be in our Earth's core because this is her comeback on her new account because apparently TikTok locked her original account.
Also, let's pay attention to the statement the University of Idaho gave regarding the lawsuit that Rebecca Schofield has against me, but also the accusations that I made that she was the one who ordered and who is responsible for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. It says, while this lawsuit is a private matter, U of I does not condone spreading false information and find this particular allegation to be one of the worst we have seen.
It's a standard response.
They do not condone the spreading of false information. That's one. And for this one, they believe that the allegations I've made is the worst they've seen. Let's pay attention to what they didn't say, which is they didn't say that they agree that Rebecca Schofield didn't know.
They don't need to. What are you talking about?
That they agree that she didn't teach these students.
The police actually came out and said that Rebecca Schofield did not teach these students. She's essentially just proving Rebecca's case with all these videos. But then she made a message for all of us out here on YouTube.
It's a lot of people on YouTube, on the news and articles, the comments, TikTok videos, whatever. When the truth comes out and you see that I'm right, I just want you guys to leave that stuff up and stand on what you said. Don't delete it and try to bandwagon. Stand on it. And some of it I say so that I can make you stand on it.
She's lost. She's way out there. You need proof. You need proof other than tarot cards. This is insane. Get off TikTok and find yourself a hobby for the sake of the victims.
So I got served today with a lawsuit officially. Now I can provide my answer. And this is where the tables turn. Did y'all see the statement that the police made that Rebecca Schofield, there was no current connection with Rebecca Schofield in these crimes? This is exactly why when I said I was chosen for this or I was sent for this and that God sent me on a mission to help with this case, I'm literally the only one who has made the connection. Now you guys are going to see. This case opened the door for mass dissemination, thanks to Rebecca Schofield, her team of lawyers and their press release. Mass dissemination of the truth. Because otherwise, it doesn't look like the
That's because they need evidence.
They literally just put a
Thankfully, the police don't work off tarot cards.
With the crimes in Rebecca Schofield. I'm literally the only one that can help with this right now. And I gladly take the responsibility. I gladly take whatever it is that I have to do to make it happen. And I'm grateful. Justice for Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Zana.
The police cannot do anything with visions. Thankfully, they have to work on facts. This is, oh my goodness. I don't, but it gets so much worse.
The arrest of Brian Kohlberger, part 3. I find it very odd that he's arrested within 10 days, 10 days of them filing the lawsuit against me to silence me. I find it odd that suddenly, within a span of a week, they were able to get my address, file a lawsuit, put out a ton of information via media across the entire world to discredit me, and then now suddenly there's an arrest. Something is not adding up. So if they had so much information to arrest someone, why did it take so long, and why the sudden timing?
Because it takes time to gather evidence that's not visions. The only thing the lawsuit that you're involved in has to do with this case is you slandered someone for being the perpetrator of this case.
So Brian Kohlberger gets arrested and you guys are cheering and celebrating with this false sense of victory like I was wrong. I never said she did it with her hands. I said she hired somebody. Like, how does that debunk anything that I said? Are y'all that slow?
What? I thought you said she hired that student to do it. Now your story's changing. I want to know how she is so sure that Rebecca did this that she's willing to just ruin her own life over it. This doesn't make sense. Is she doing this to plead insanity in the case? Or is she just going insane? Or is there some glass or rock involved here? Because now she's defending the person who was just arrested for doing it.
This is a brief synopsis about what I've uncovered about the night of the Ford University of
what you oh my goodness
was brought into the picture. The night of the first thing Jack DeCour did was steal Murphy back. He spent some time with Murphy, regaining control and authority over Murphy, and it worked. And once he got Murphy back, he realized that was most valuable to him. The money and the accolades, and that's not everything in life. But he liked his surroundings. He liked the people around him, and he had Murphy back. So he thought, I don't know if I'm going to commit this. It doesn't make sense. He was perplexed about the situation with Rebecca Schofield and the girls knowing her affair. So he felt like, I'm going to sit some time aside and think about this before I commit this crime. And then he thought about his glory days of playing tennis and how life felt really good during that time. And he wondered if life could be that good again.
What the This is just so disrespectful and wild that she's just making these insane fanfics. She's already gained hundreds of thousands of views on her new account. Her old account has millions of views, and none of this makes sense whatsoever. So apparently a comment asked, how do Rebecca and Brian know each other? Great question, I'll ask. Who? The tarot cards?
Part 2 of Brian Kohlberger's introduction into the of the 4 University of Idaho students. So since Jack DeCour was procrastinating and really contemplating whether or not he wants to commit the because his life was fine, he didn't see any reason that he needed to take an additional risk, Rebecca Schofield is going crazy. She's having anxiety and fear. She's anxiety and fear prone. And she decides, let's go back
she's anxiety and fear prone
to commit these. Since Jack DeCour was ignoring her, she assumed that he wasn't committing the crime. That's when she decides to call Brian Kohlberger. She calls Brian Kohlberger and says, so-and-so, I was backstabbed. They were supposed to commit these. I can offer you this. She offers him money, and he says yes. And then
what money? She's a professor. Like,
for University of Idaho.
How would a professor have enough money to put a hit on someone?
Had already begun. He just wasn't answering the phone.
So she's still doubling down, claiming that this student, Jack, did it all. I honestly hope Jack and his family sues her as well. I mean, this is so insane. I feel terrible for the victims in this case, but also the victims that Ashley is just slandering with baseless claims.
Also, we need to find out what kind of law enforcement officials are we dealing with. Brian Kohlberger is literally one of the best physical witnesses they can find. I am literally the best spiritual witness they can find.
He's the guy that allegedly did it.
And putting out information for free. And we're the ones being persecuted while the actual...
You're in your apartment the entire time. What are you talking about?
Is there corruption going on? Because make this make sense. Since when are witnesses the ones that are being persecuted and are remaining free?
Why are you defending a person who offed 3 teenagers with a knife? I understand why TikTok limited her original account, because this is terrible. I also see comments claiming that this Ashley woman has kids. For the sake of the victims, stop. For the sake of your kids, stop. Imagine being her kid. Mom, please get off TikTok. You're putting the entire family tree in debt. Man, that's $75,000 that could have gone to her kids. And that's if that's the only lawsuit coming at her. But she continues to defend the alleged perpetrator.
It's completely disgusting and a new low to me for them to blame Brian Kohlberger. One, because he's different. He was already unique and different, and he didn't fit in with the people in that community. So for them to turn around and choose him to frame him, that's just so disgusting. You already rejected him, and then turn around and blame and frame him? Super disgusting. In addition to that, the same reason why he was chosen by Rebecca Schofield when she invited him to experience and asked him to go to the scene of the crime, make sure Jack DeCour was there doing his job, and if not, to do it himself. But anyway, when she enticed him to go there, she used the fact that he was a quote-unquote misfit or rejected and decided and made it like she was accepting him by inviting him to experiment.
Get out of the straitjacket. This is insane. I mean, like, the victims of this case have already gone through more than enough. The last thing they need is someone on TikTok pulling hundreds of thousands of views spreading lies about them and their loved ones. And I guess she continues to attack the police department for corruption because of their own egos. They won't listen to her.
People keep saying, don't make this about me, but they've made it about me. The reason why all of this is happening right now is because Moscow Police Department refused to work with me. There was somebody who wanted to come to me and work with me. I did a reading and I was on live before my old page got continuously banned. Not banned, but in view only mode. And the reading said that somebody, an official, wanted to work with me. They wanted to prevent that from happening because me uncovering the details of the murders shows them up. So instead of collaborating with me, they decided to compete with me and then come forward with some information and arrest someone who didn't even commit the crime. You telling me this is somebody who wants to get justice? No, they are biased and they should not be able to handle this case.
I'm at a loss for words. I mean, the top comment says, what do the cards say about bankruptcy? I'm curious about that as well. I hope that she stops slandering the victims of this case, but it might take a court order for that to stop. It'll be interesting to see what happens in court. I definitely know it's going to be a show, but until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.